As you know, and the audience, I'm sure, will know, Rett is a neurodevelopmental disorder. It's really not a neurodegenerative disorder. Um, Generally affects girls. However, we are identifying more males with Rett syndrome. So historically, we have thought of it as a predominantly female disorder. Rett syndrome results from pathogenic variants in the MECP2 gene that's expressed not just in the brain, but multiple organ systems. Thus, it's a multi-system disorder with brain-based features being the ones that we think about more often. There's about 6,000 to 7,000 individuals with Rett syndrome in the US, so still considered a very rare disorder. Individuals with Rett syndrome, initially they appear to be typically developing until perhaps the 6 through 18 month of life, when there may be some developmental stagnation followed by regression. And the regression is often in hand use and whatever spoken language they might have acquired at that time. And so the diagnosis of Rett requires that there be some level of regression in hand use and language and the presence of the MECP2 gene variants. Now, not every child with Rett syndrome necessarily have microcephaly or acquired microcephaly. Some do, but that's not a requirement for the diagnosis. And as I said earlier, it's a multi-system disorder. So in addition to the neurodevelopmental sequela and the epilepsy, many of our girls don't eat by mouth. They have swallowing issues, so they need G-tubes. And over time, after the period of regression, we'll see the development of these stereotypic movements. The hand washing, hand wringing, hand to mouth are some of the atypical hand movements that we see. But over time, we'll see increase in tone, and dystonia emerges often in the peri-adolescent, adolescent ages, affecting some more than others. Gait is a common problem across the lifespan, with some never really learning to walk and others walking but having difficulty over time. Cardiac, so prolonged QT is another feature of Rett syndrome. Scoliosis, which impacts breathing. So we have multiple systems that are involved in addition to osteopenia, so low bone density with increased risk for fractures. So that really just points to the multiple organ systems that are involved in Rett. So when we think about the impact of this disorder on quality of life, not just for the kiddos, but for their caregivers, we can see that it has far-reaching implications. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why having an FDA-approved product is such an exciting time, not just for Rett syndrome, but I think it sets the stage for the development or the interest in pharmaceutical companies being invested in rare disorders. It's a challenging process to bring a drug to FDA approval. Myself as a treating physician, and I'm sure the parents are all excited about this opportunity. And with time, we will see the impact of DAYBUE on the clinical features, the quality of life of girls with Rett. But there are many clinical features that this drug could potentially target. It's a little too early to say which component of this disorder it will impact more than the next. But we'll continue to follow these girls. It'll be exciting times to see how things pan out.